And it is time. This week we finish it, but our party's pretty dead. Here, let us help you. Their prayers give you life. Yay! But they're all very weak. Don't give up. Trust your power. Their prayers give you strength. All right, so they fully healed Rosa and Rydia. Keep your focus. Don't you die on us. Their prayers give you vitality. All right. You must prevail, brother. Give to the crystal the holy power within you. Zeromus, show your true self. Their prayers give you holy power. So, technically, if you do anything in this fight, it will not register worth crap. So, you actually have to use the crystal. And the fight really begins. Zeromus reveals his true self. And holy crap! It's another horse head to me. As a kid it was, anyway. Now it's just, you know, weird Cthulhuian horror. If you can even call it that, I don't know. Like, I still to this day have looked for a face on this thing, and I can never find one. So, welcome back, everybody, to this final part of Final Fantasy IV for PSP. This day is still one of my favorite final boss fights. And it's just because of that opening part, the background behind you, where it looks like you are fighting throughout time and space. The fact that Zeromus is not like the easiest of final bosses. I mean, we'll come across some that are just absolutely stupid easy when you break down their mechanics. And when they first implemented the active time battle system, man, this guy was gold. He was hard. As you can see, he can wipe out Edge or Rydia or Rosa with just one attack. So you have to be really careful on how you approach these things. Plus, his abilities all basically create dots you can't avoid. If you put up any buffs, he can nullify them. You actually had to play this fight rather smart. And I'm always happy when I get to this point in Final Fantasy IV, because this guy is still challenging to this day. And just a wonderful shout out to the people who did the PSP remake, because these spell effects are awesome. I mean, back on the Super Nintendo, you couldn't do a whole lot, but they did what they could, and now it just looks even better. Wish they would have clarified Zeromus' face, but you know. But yeah, this is the final battle. I thought I was actually going to be bringing more E3 talk this time around, but you know what? I'm actually going to hold that off till we get to the next game. And that's just because I want to give this game its dues. You know, I know you guys like or at least some of you like the E3 updates and the game updates, but those are more like during the game. When we actually have some pivotal story moments, I like to stick to the game itself, especially since to this day, this game is still my most favorite of the series, and it has never gotten better. Thankfully, it hasn't gotten that much worse. So here's my ace in the hole. So if people have noticed, I have not been using Edge's throw. I was saving it for here, mainly because weapons that I have will be enough. And now I'm getting to the point where it's really hard to keep people up. So I'm starting to pull out the big heals. We're going to make this work as much as we can. And there goes Black Hole again. So as you can see, my haste is gone. You can't buff once he gets into the Black Hole phase, because he'll just nullify it. And there isn't enough time. This is actually the point where I also start utilizing Cecil's healing as kind of a secondary healer to take care of some of the minor damage that's happening. I wouldn't recommend this wholeheartedly during the game, because Rosa is enough, but in this one, you use whatever you can to stay alive, because Cecil's not exactly the one that's doing a ton of damage. I mean, he can, but you'd much rather have Edge up so he can throw, you would much rather have Rydia up so she can summon. Obviously Rosa, because she needs to heal. And I'm starting with the smaller weapons first, because the bigger ones are going to be, like, guaranteed 9999. I am playing this fight as smart as I can, because it's lasted forever for me, and it's lasted super slow, or super fast. So I'm doing everything I can to stay alive here, and I love this game for it, man. This is a boss fight that to this day still has me at the edge of my seat when I'm playing it. Because it could go bad at any moment. It's time for Gungnir to go out now. Spear of Odin. Smack! And that's it! Odin has helped me! Thank you, Anthony Hopkins! I knew they chose the right Odin! Just wait. We'll have a Final Fantasy movie eventually, and Anthony Hopkins will have to play Odin.
We cannot perish as long as evil exists in the hearts of the living.
Well done. You hold much power, much more power than I had expected. The race of the blue planet may have already evolved past us Lunarians. Or are we exploited? I don't know. Yeah, you might be right. You saw how strong we were. Why do I see him kissing his biceps on that one? Zeromus' last words bother me, though. As long as evil exists. True evil will never die. Every living creature has at least a touch of evil in its heart, as well as a touch of goodness. It is as sure as there is light and darkness, the overworld and the underworld. However, as long as evil exists, so too will good. The goodness you hold in you was what destroyed Zemus. Ah, stop it already. There's nothing to it. Why is he still kissing his biceps on that one? What are you talking about? I was surprised Zemus didn't try to control you. Ooh, snap, Rydia. Crap, man. I'm sure you have enough evil inside. Ooh. Nope, my heart is filled with goodness all the way. Yeah, uh-huh. Well, it is time for me to return to my home. What about everyone else? We will return home as well. Yes, there are people worried about us. I see. I am glad you have such wonderful friends. I look forward to the day we meet again. May I come along as well? You wish to come? Yes. I cannot return home after all I've done. I would very much like to meet my father's people as well. Ah, yes. Lunarian blood flows in your veins. Very well. Come along. But you must be ready for a long, long sleep. Yes, I am prepared. Thank you. You sounded very worried when you called my name, Cecil. But of course, it is impossible to think that you could forgive me. have done so much to hurt you and your people. We must go now and sleep. We will pray for the peace of your planet. Come, let us go. Yes. Cecil, are you certain you want to part this way? He's your brother. Farewell. Cecil! Thank you for breaking the emo moment, Edge. Farewell, my brother. Thank you. Brother. Still to this day, that is a very touching scene. Just because this is actually the one point... Oh, I better stop. I'll explain that later. One born of a dragon, bearing darkness and light, shall rise to the heavens over the still land. The moon's light eternal brings a promise to the planet, with bounty and grace. After a brief pause, the moon travels forth, seeking another in search of its radiance. Though the same blood, lunar and terrestrial both, this time's march alone keeps too far apart. This is an awesome scene. Really well done in the remake. Oh my gosh. And now we have to return the lunar whale, because we do not need it anymore. So we'll get into final thoughts as soon as the ending is done, but this is actually pretty all interconnected. We shall begin today's training. Yes, sir. Where's Pollen? Oh no, not again. So there I was on the slopes of Mount Ordeals when I cast an awesome blizzard and... Smack! Thank you, Borum! Ow! How many times are you going to get the Master angry at you? Come on! See, it goes that fast. How many times do I have to scold you? It will be years before you're even half the sage today. As punishment, you shall do your sister's homework. That's not fair! I think it's very fair. When will you come to realize that you have responsibilities? You're a prince! I know, jeez. You say you know, but your actions say otherwise. Yeah. Such a tone is not taken by that of a prince. Your Majesty must work on that. There just aren't any girls in this world. Oh yeah, he needs to get married. Oh, look. He's in love with the only girl to talk back to him. Your Highness, have you been listening to anything I've said? And now we go to Rydia. What a courageous little girl. Yes, I never thought she would really be back. Rydia! Rydia, why do I don't want to have things like you? How can I be like you? What are you talking about? We're all living creatures. We're all the same. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for the Feymarch. I cannot wait to see what kind of beauty the girl will grow up to be. The important thing is what you're like on the inside, not the outside. Isn't that right, Cecil? Somebody's fidgety. Honey! You're a queen now! Try calling me my king instead of honey! I know, but I can't stand being so formal. Oh no! It is time for my training! Let's go! Yoy! Hun, oh, that man's impossible! Do not say that. I think Yang will create a wonderful kingdom. And now we go to Edward, who's rebuilding Damkian. Love descending, I really do. Your Highness! I hope you play your paladin song again for us sometime. I will, but only after I've finished my work. You want the castle back the way it was, right? Yeah! That's a promise, right? Anna. I hope you're watching over me. I'm helping the people of Damkian. I'm caring for my people as I cared for you. I hope you and Tella are having a fine time together. Nice little touch on that. Kind of a resolution to their story. And let me go! We need to repair the castle with great haste! Your Majesty, we don't have enough materials! Take apart the tanks and remove any useful pieces. There's no need to worry about war anymore. Father, I wonder how Cecil and his friends are doing. I almost forgot to tell you. It seems Sir Cecil and Lady Rosa are the new king and queen of Baron. Oh my. I have also been notified that we are invited to the wedding and coronation. Your Majesty, you're not helping to fix the castle at all! I'm the king! I can do whatever I want! Now go take apart some tanks! Lally-ho! Yeah, not really instilling a lot of confidence in your people there, dude. And the one that stuck with me the most... Cecil. Rosa. I cannot bring myself back to face you both. I must taste myself as Cecil did, on Mount Ordeals. I will train until I have surpassed my father as a dragoon. When that time comes, then I shall return to Baron. And we have to go here. Oh. What is it? You have to see this. The moon. And I think I showed this telescope in an earlier part just to show that they had this image. I never knew that as a kid, but the remade version is just so much better. And I believe when you look at it in the telescope, it does rotate, so even better. So what's happening with the moon? We don't know. Well, there's our planet. No, we're still not seeing what the problem is. I don't know. And the Super Nintendo one you see by now, but there is a reason, and We will see it in a little bit. Oh! One of the moons has just flown off. What's wrong, Cecil? I thought I heard my brother's voice. Really? I couldn't tell for sure, but forget it. It was probably my imagination. Hey, you two! Why aren't you getting ready? It's your big day! You must have lost track of the time. Jeez, there will plenty of time for you to be lovebirds later, but now you have to. Your public awaits! Come on, Rosa! Well, I mean, Your Majesty. Please, just call me Rosa, Dad. I mean, Sid. And Rosa, we've got to get you dressed and get you made up as the perfect blushing bride. Where are the maids? Come on, we haven't got all day. I'll be right there. I can't wait to see everyone again. It's been so long. Are you ready, Cecil? Yes, I'm ready. It wasn't my imagination. I heard my brother's voice say, farewell. And so we get to see the coronation of King Cecil and Queen Rosa of Baron. I think it's actually kind of appropriate since he was considered, you know, a son to the king, that he takes over. And, you know, being the righteous paladin didn't necessarily hurt that decision either. And I just love the fact that we have this reuniting of the world's characters to bring in this coronation. It all started at Baron, and it ends in Baron, on a happy occasion. And so now we have Palom and Porum. I love that Palom actually sits on the throne. It's like, yeah, comfortable. And then gets smacked by Porum, and that's really why I like it. And here's the Elder of Mysidia. Such a switch from what we saw at the beginning, where the Elder of Mysidia had every right to hate him, and now loves him. And thinks this is a good choice. Edward of Damkian. The change in that character, and the interactions that we had. Just such great moments. And then I guess, yeah, Rydia's left, and oh look, Edge is reacting. I always like to think that Edge and Rydia got together after this, but I haven't played the After Years, so I don't know if they did. It would be nice to think they did, though. And this is the equivalent of a coronation, so they just close in and cheer with the player. Oh, this is still such a great ending to me. Seeing these sprites just do the simplest of things, it works. So that is Final Fantasy IV, the PSP edition. Final thoughts on it? I love this game inside and out. I know I'm horribly biased, but I love this game inside and out. It is the best Final Fantasy game I have ever played in my life. This is the game that actually got me to play Final Fantasy games. This game I tried to take on. It was a little too difficult for me as a kid. But then Mystic Quest came out, and that taught me the tropes, and I worked my way back. Now, granted, like, right after Mystic Quest, I tried to do the first game and beat it, and then went right to 4, because 2 and 3 hadn't been released to the States yet. So, I at least played the first game to appreciate it. And 4, just great. I'm so glad that I'm now invested in this series as much as I am, especially given that, I mean, now we're almost to, almost 15 titles now in the Roman numeral line, and numerous others if you include them. So I recommend this game wholeheartedly to anybody. You can either get this for the PlayStation Portable with the After Years included, which is a sequel DLC kind of thing. You can also get this on 3DS for a fully voiced experience, and one of these days I might do an LP of it, but it's DS, so I don't know. But I recommend this wholeheartedly. Or even get yourself a copy of the original on Super Nintendo. or you can go and get Final Fantasy Chronicles for PlayStation, which is also the exact same thing. So I wish I could find a better way to end this other than just oozing all my passion on it, but this is just such a great game, and I'm so glad that I've gotten to it. It's probably my most favorite game, but there are others that have done just as well, and I look forward to them when we get there. But unfortunately, with our next entry, I don't have the most to say about it. It's actually one of my least favorite. And also, it's one of the first Japanese-only titles that got brought to the US, and that is Final Fantasy V. It was originally going to be brought here as Final Fantasy Extreme, but it didn't happen. We had to get a fan translation to see it eventually, and then it got released pretty close after Final Fantasy VII came out. But yeah, I recommend this game wholeheartedly. Get your hands on it if you can. If you want this to be your first Final Fantasy title, great, good on you. You can literally start anywhere, and I love that about the Final Fantasy series. And I recommend this one wholeheartedly that you start with. Mystic Quest isn't the easiest to get your hands on, and not everybody likes it. I mean, you know, I obviously don't have the same opinion that, say, Pro Jared has on it. But yeah, I really am looking for stuff to say here, and I think I've pretty much said it all. So I'm just going to let the credits kind of end this out. Once again, I'm Drak. Thank you so much for watching this Let's Play of Final Fantasy IV and all the ones that came before it. There's tons of content on my channel. If you guys haven't even looked at that stuff, you should, which is, I've done previously the first 3 Final Fantasy games, plus Mystic Quest. We started there. I am currently still doing a Let's Play of The Last of Us with my wife. We're actually getting ready to end that and go into the DLC. I'm excited to get that done. And then also, I do Let's Play Live. I might be taking kind of a 2-week absence from that, but that's just because E3 has kind of burned me out, and last week we had some PC issues. But I promise I will be back the following week, or as you guys will probably see, because it will probably debut tomorrow after this one. So I do Let's Play Live. I also do a podcast called Geek News, Reviews, and Opinions. And guys, I am so excited over the next couple of weeks because we've got E3 coverage. We're going to be getting together for a group review of Jurassic World. We haven't seen it yet, or Romney has, but none of the rest of us have. So we're going to get together and do that. We've got so much planned, and I can only talk about, you know, even a fraction of stuff. So I, once again, thank you guys for your contributions, and love the fact that you guys appreciate the videos. And we will see you guys next time for Final Fantasy V for Super Nintendo, well, Super Famicom, but we're going to be playing the PlayStation version. Till next time, guys.